Hey you, so I thought I'd do an update of the Dragon Phoenix era coins. I've had a load of people contact me and just ask a load of questions. So I'm going to put forward all the little information I have found out and try and answer a few questions and just bring a new couple of things to light. So answer a few questions. I'm not personally selling any of my coins at the moment. Like I said, I want the dust to settle just to find out where we are and get my bearings. I never was or had any intentions of selling these coins before these errors, variations came about. So it's just one of those things that personally I'm not selling. So just to answer that, at the moment I'm not physically selling no copies. I did purchase another 3 rolls, as you can see. So at the moment, the ones with the error at the bottom and non-errors at the top. I personally want to able to get another 100 of the non-errors, so if I ever do at a later date, I'll be able to offer both variants. So that's answering that. Now, I've had a lot of people contact me either for pricing on the coins, that they've sold some coins for some very nice prices, or they was thinking of selling themselves, and I've been contacted by individuals stating that they've recently got a hold of some themselves, an entire roll. So they are still out there, but I'll say by now there isn't a dealer out there that doesn't know, basically. So answering a few questions, Perth Mint hasn't got back to anybody. They're just not going along with it. It is what it is. So in terms of how many are out there, we'll never know. It's official that the first batch were infected, and that's that, basically. No, there is some conflicting information I'm getting back from various sources, and that is how many were given to the West. So this isn't, like I mentioned before, it's a tiny mintage. So this isn't, say, where are we? Privy Mark Kookaburra coin that the Perth Mint does, and the Perth Mint will have them and allocate them to a whole load of dealers, and then everybody takes their dip from there. When the mint's out, it's just the dealers that are left. This is something that was personally commissioned by the LPG group. So the entire bulk, not the entire 50,000, but the bulk of that went to these Asian dealers. Now from there, other dealers were able to collaborate or communicate with these dealers to get an allotment. So I've been told 5,000 went out to the West, and that would be Australia, America and Europe. But then I've been told 10,000, but then I've been told it was 20,000, but it was a back and forth. So they would contact the dealers and they would tell them, well, LPG, or they had this many, or LPM, they had this many, or they had that many, but it has dwindled down. So the dealer who got the most in Europe that I know of, who I first originally got them from, I believe had about no more than 3,000 that I'm aware of, that I was personally told. So I've seen other dealers, but they've had under 100 or so. So I don't know how many are out there. But to answer that, because I've seen a few people commenting that there's so many of them, how can they be an error? So I'll get into that at the last part. So that's just answering that question. I have no idea how many there, but I personally don't think it's going to make a difference on the pricing. So what I initially got into this for, it wasn't, as I mentioned in every video and in the comments, I couldn't care less if this was called a doppelganger coin or whatever. It wasn't the name. It was that I'd purchased a large amount of these, and I had a vested interest to know whether the price would plummet or whether it'd do what it's been doing. So now I know that I'm more than happy and content. I couldn't care less what we're calling this, a variant, error. So just putting that out there also. So regarding the few and a lot of people that have been contacting me regarding pricing, I've got my old little pad out. Then we'll just get into this. So this is a very well-known European dealer. In fact, the dealer I got them for, and as you can see, they get the variation please on the phone. Better call Sal on swag, as Dave decided to call these mint errors. So we go into it, we'll see that these dealers themselves now have decided to sell these up. And so as you can see, so this is just to get some type of price gauge. Now this is a very well-known dealer to a lot of European buyers, so they have this up now, selling at this price. Will they sell? I don't know. Are they selling? I don't know. But this is just to get some type of gauge or idea roughly on what you should be pricing them at. So that's that. I've been contacted by an individual, not this individual, who said that they have sold on eBay a successful sell for $200. So if that means anything. So this is, if you want to sell and you're asking for prices, this is roughly what you want to be looking for. So here's a couple of examples of prices, what they're going for. Now regarding how many of them are out there, even from my first video, I likened this coin to the lunar horse era that was out. And on these, as I mentioned, I think in one of my comments, these coins who, well, I don't know what the variant police want to call this coin, but this era mule had 38,000. So that's a massive number in comparison to the 50,000 that we don't know how many actually went out to the west. So it could be anywhere from 10 to 20,000 and how many of those were infected. So this is just the prices that the horse mule are going for. Now if you look at that, it's ranging. Now obviously I don't know, it's not sold prices, so if we was to take a look at the actual sell prices or sold, what they're actually selling for, could maybe get a rough gauge. So looking at these, now these are the horse mules, not the Dragon Phoenix mules. So looking at that with a mintage of 38,000, and mind you, what they have 17,000 on the 2014 Britannia. So this is just to give any individual that's contacted me that has one a rough price gauge on what you want to be asking or selling. Look what these coins are selling for. I've seen them sell for as high as £500, and these have a mintage, well, the errors mules had a mintage or variation had a mintage of 38,000. So that should give you some rough idea if you wanted to sell, what you should be selling for. I mean, if you're asking me, I have a vested interest now, and I can't complain about the hype. I'd say starting bids at £300 sterling and so forth, and take it as you want. But that's what you can be asking, or that's what you should be asking, or that's just a rough gauge. So that's a dealer that's physically selling them now as an error, and what some people have contacted me saying they've sold them for on eBay. So that's answering that. Now apparently there is another part of the fiend or the dragon that also has a cock up, and I'm going to see if I can get this in, and it's just behind the dragon's foot. Now I would have never noticed none of these, that's just me for you, but we can get in here, and it's just on this little triangle part where my pointer's pointing. Now this is a non-error piece, but behind here it's matte. So on the error coins I'm about to pick up, just where my pointer's pointing, that comes out clear, and the wobbly never does stop. So there's a little triangle piece just behind the dragon's foot, so I'm gonna point it out just there, and then I'm gonna get one of these errors out and show you on here. Once we get the wobbling stopped again, down the same area, it's proof. I can't get that clear, but it's just where the pointer is. So it's in this little triangle area behind here. I'll get two side by side. I hope that if anyone can see that. So there is another portion of the actual dragon that's also got some type of variation or error as well. So you're looking at this area here, around here. So the one on the left is the non-error. So this area around there, this little triangle area right there, just behind the claw of the dragon's foot, and right here is proof on this one here on the left, and apparently it's matte right there. I can't see, so you lot be the judge of that. So that's a new spot or error that's out there. And an individual, he's got a great channel up, he's also done a video showing or confirming what the dealer told me, and that is if you have an error coin in a sealed roll, you're pretty much guaranteed that the entire roll is going to be errors. So this individual, I'm going to leave a link to his channel, David I believe his name is, got a great channel. If you like what he's doing, sub up. But he's done a video physically cracking open an entire roll and going through them one at a time. So I'm gonna leave a link to his video so you can see that. So that is everything I know. It's not a lot, but that's just an update on what the situation is on these Dragon Phoenix mint variation error die blah 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 coins. So hate or love it, I'd love to know what you guys think. It'd be great if you subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you guys on the rebound.